Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with another P5X video. And today we're going to be going into the final stage of the Phantom Thieves Assemble storyline quest. So, stage 1-14, and we are going to do the mission against the final boss without anybody dying, which can be a bit difficult for some people, especially if they don't have some specific things going on for them. So we'll go over the team build really fast once we jump into this. But this is what we are running. Actually, no, we are not running this. We are changing Kaio into, there we go, Miyu. So we've got Joker, level 54, Yaoling, Rin, level 50, and then Wonder and Morgana. So Morgana and Miyu are going to be probably the most important characters here for keeping you alive, because you can do damage to the boss. Like, you don't need Joker and Rin. If you have some strong damaging characters, you could use like Panther and Cattle if you wanted to. And if you've got dupes in a Cattle, I think he makes On go crazy. I don't have a lot of dupes into him, but I've heard such things. But Morgana, being a healer, and then with his ability to passive heal you on turns, means that you can kind of focus all your damage output with Wonder, Rin, and Joker, and then just let Morgana deal with it. The only problem that I had running this stage a couple times is him just one-shotting Morgana. So we have to bring Miyu to give us that extra shield. Going to be very, very important you have that extra kind of barrier protecting you from a butt ton of damage. So we're going to jump into the boss fight from here, so give me a minute. Alright, here we are. I died the first time I tried to record this. He one-shot Morgana because I didn't have the super strong shield up. The thing about Miyu is that every time you use her first skill, she gives you a stack of like the seashell or something. And then once you get a lot of those stacks, like 4 each, from using her skill 1 over and over again, you use skill 3 and you get like a 2,000 to 3,000 point shield, and that's what's really going to save you. So for the first phase, it is fairly simple. You just hit him. So with the Joker, since we're not in an AoE fight, we have to use his skill 2, which I don't think is as good, but he does kind of make up for it by giving you extra stacks of Will of Rebellion, so you can start using his extra actions a little bit sooner. And you can see that the boss is, taking decent amount of damage, but he's also doing a decent amount of damage to us. So we're going to start stacking the shield with Miyu. So when an ally shield is broken, it cuts her cooldown by 1 turn, which normally it's an 8-turn cooldown. But if you break it, or if he breaks everybody, and there's the passive healing coming in, and Morgana's healing can crit somehow, and give you like half your HP back. But we're going to heal back anyways, because I want to make sure everybody is as topped up as possible for any stray hit. But, what was I talking about? I was talking about something there. Morgana? Miyu. Yeah, so every time you have one of your shields taken away by a random hit, it cuts the cooldown, which means that there are turns where, this happens, this tongue swipe, and you immediately get her back, because it's been a couple turns, and he just deleted your barrier, which cut 4 turns out of it, because he took all 4 barriers away. So you can reapply it. And reapplying this means that you are adding stacks to your seashell abilities. We've got 3 stacks on everybody right now. We've got the Mingpo Soup to lower the defense of Raga. And then we're just going to, hit people because we're pretty much topped up on health right here. We're going to save the highlight ability for Joker until next turn, because that's the turn where we really kind of have to burst through it as quick as possible. Because not only do you have to deal with him, but he also has his crown, which is the core, and that's going to give him a barrier. And if you don't also break the barrier and take out the crown, he's going to hit really hard and continue to give himself a barrier, which is kind of just stupid. So you want to use AoE skills here. So we're on the extra action, so we're going to go ahead and use his highlight ability. And we do, 10,000 damage against him and 6,000 some against his crown. That's great. So not that. But now we're going to use his Arsene's Chains. No, actually, I should have used his chain here, because it's the extra action turn. But I go single target against the crown, because the quicker you take that out, the quicker you can finish him, because it takes a lot less damage than what he does. So your primary focus after you've broken his barrier is to hit the crown as much as possible. But if you want to use AoE skills and hit them both, then that works, because it just means less HP you have to deal with for phase 3. But now we need to make sure that we are topped up on HP, because even though we're going to guard this hit, it says brace for powerful attack, you pretty much have to guard this. There's no getting around it. So guard, 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 guard. Alright, and Morgana, guard. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure this would one-shot you. Because even guarding, we are taking 1,600 damage right there. It maybe not one-shot, but it would certainly do a lot. But here, we're going to use one more use of Mew's skill 1. That'll put us at 4 stacks of Seashell, and that's going to be super duper important for the rest of this fight. So, let's go ahead and continue to single target. I probably should just AoE with Joker. That way we can hit both him and the crown at the same time, but slight, little changes to the gameplay here. But we're going to use Rin's highlight ability to make sure we can do extra curse damage and just get more damage on him and remove his barrier. And then there's the passive healing, keeping us nice and topped up. And then we can go ahead and do the AoE with Rin, lower his defense again, get extra damage right there. And then with Morgana, if you don't need healing, and, I don't think my Morgana is really outputting super amounts of damage. Like, 1,500 is definitely good. It might be better if you find him dying, like, almost right there. Just to have him guard. Just to make sure you can survive one of those fork hits or something. Because there are turns where he just straight up hates Morgana. So you take one of those big-time volleyball attacks, and he follows up with a fork, and Morgana's dead. And that's your reviver gone. So in the event that someone else does die, you don't have access to Morgana's highlight ability, which has a revive attached to it. So that's why it's the most important to keep Morgana alive more than anybody else. Because if he's down, your mission's over. Like, if you don't complete it with all 4 people alive, then you're done. And you cannot get that mission, and you'd have to restart over again and over again. But there's the highlight ability, taking out the crown. Now he's going berserk, and so phase 3 is just whatever HP he has left. And he does take increased damage here, but he also hits really hard. And then we take this, and now Morgana is very close to death. So let's go ahead and use Mew, and now that we've got 4 stacks, let's use her skill 3. And you can see the big-time shield we get here. Yeah, a 2,600 point shield, and then we can heal. And then we're banking on Morgana's passive healing ability to kick in. And that will keep us pretty well protected from anything. But if you don't heal after this turn, or don't put the shield up, like here's this coming in clutch and everyone got a crit heal. His next follow-up attack, he does, I think, 3 attacks in a row. And there's a high chance that you will just die here. So we're doing damage, we're trying to do damage. Crit right there is awesome, 4,000. And then Rin, just using her skill 1 to get Mengpo soups again. And then Golden Knife, 3,200 damage. Golden Knife, 3,100 damage. Golden Knife, 2,800 damage. Our shields are gone, but our HP is still fairly high. Because we have been healing, because we had that massive seashell shield from Mew. Which, unfortunately, her skill 3 does not have an extra little cooldown gimmick, where every time it gets broken, you get a little bit extra. So you are going to have to deal with those, a 12-turn cooldown or something like that. But hopefully that one big-time shield is enough to keep you safe until the end of the fight, which is right here. So Arsene's chains, and there we go. We have taken out Raga. No one is dead. We kept ourselves shield and fully topped up on HP this entire time, so now we can watch the kind of cool cutscene of the entire crew just going to town. And yeah, there you go. I'm not, this is the only team build I have, realistically. My Panther and my Cattle are not really built up that much. I don't have their 5-star weapons, so I don't know how it's going to work without Joker and Rin for this fight. I'm sure there are definitely ways to do it. But, I've got Joker, I've got 1 dupe and Rin, I've got their 5-star weapons. We got to make it as easy as possible. But there's that, and now let me cut over to... I'll let you guys not watch that cutscene for now. You can watch it on your own. But let me cut over to the main mission screen now. Alright, and there we go. We have completed the entire 14-act storyline. We've cleared stage 1-14 with 60%, and we've gotten 100% in every single stage, which gets us a platinum millicoin and this nice little badge for us. And more importantly, we did it with no KO'd allies. So we can go ahead and claim all these missions, and we are 100% complete with this entire event. So, I know that, people might not have Joker and Rin, especially with weapons and dupes, so it might be a bit more difficult for you, but if you manage to clear this event with nobody dying, congrats. And also, what team did you use? Let me know in the comments, but that's it for me. Take it easy, and I will see you all later.